Welcome back to The Kingdom Sleeps, where we'll be jumping right back into the action with Yohm and his adventure towards Lüdock's cave. I'm Andrew, I'll be your story master for this evening.
And my name's Tom, and as ever, I'll be playing the role of Yohm.
Once again, thank you so much to our Patreons for supporting this podcast. We couldn't do it without you. If you want to discuss the show with us so far, please leave a comment down below or join us in our Discord, link in the description. But for now, make yourselves comfortable and join us where the kingdom sleeps. The room is completely silent, save for a low crackling of the fire in the center of this room as Haggis, the chieftain of this town, stands right next to you, your body enwrapped by this bright stone net, pinned on either side by the two young guards, and Haggis's eyes look up to you with that old, tired Dwergar face and sorrowful expression. I so wish it didn't have to be this way. Why would you bring a Mamu into our midst? After what I am sure you know. I'm afraid there may need to be consequences for this, Yohm. And you see, there's a small glimmer of anger behind his eyes as he says these words. And you feel up on your shoulder where Tonto rested before, his arms wrapped around your neck, and just as before, quivering with what seems like at least extreme discomfort. Until his body convulses hard underneath the enwrapment of this net, almost coming to a crescendo, at which point he becomes still and responseless, laying limp on your shoulder. How does Yohm feel in this moment?
What was once a very humble man seeking aid through communion with strangers, the kindness of others, and the seeming shared responsibility that these guilds are supposed to bring, is all just crumbled down in an instant around him, where that sense of goodwill has eroded. A feeling of righteousness is brewing in its place, where the shock and discomfort of his very close friend is rippling through his body too. And that anguish being felt, not just in this instance, but over and over again. And every time he deals with someone new, it's all the same show. People masquerading malice through fear. And he is starting to just about have enough of it. There's this massive weight of responsibility is bearing down on his shoulders. And the fears of the common people pushing his back against the wall. His mind races, clutching at any possible outcome to stop this happening, to save his friend from hurt. And he's reaching and he's struggling, and his hands pile down into his pockets and grasp at sand and pine cones, but the men around him hold too strong. And he looks down, trying to make some form of connection with Tonto again, but the aura of the Brightstone is too strong. And that frustration just rises and rises as the voices of his friends swirl around his head once more, all asking for help. And the cries of so many people asking for help just cascading around his brain right now, until in a moment all the voices stop, almost in a silence, in a sudden moment where one thing remains. A large blue eye. And as soon as Yohm opens his eyes once more away from that giant blue lidless eye that has been staring at him for so long, he looks down, and in a blue flash he feels something different. He sees something different. To begin with, not sure if this is real or not, as around him now not just lays a glowing yellow light of Tonto wrapped around his neck, but also now these arms are glowing blue, almost bulging out of themselves as this tendril-like spirit sort of ephemeral sleeve wraps itself around and almost blossoms around his hands, which are curled up into tight fists at the moment, rupture into this almost orchid-like blue flower. And in a flash of this moment, all three men around him would be stunned at the shock of these almost astral arms appearing in place of his own, which would then require them to make a wisdom saving check.
And indeed, as these blue tendril spirits, not dissimilar to the blue Mamu Yohm encountered out in the plains of Brustyaman, writhe around his arms and push out with their orchid-like heads, almost like third and fourth appendages attached to his own body. Those guards and Hugus himself will step back, aghast by this sight, almost frozen with fear to inaction. And you say they will need to roll
wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throws. And do we know what they'll need to be?
They'll need to be to 12.
And what is the effect should they fail?
Should those fail, they would feel this force of energy erupt, centered from those tendrils on Yohm's arms, and will receive 3 points of force damage each should they fail that wisdom save.
Well, as these tendrils move forth and almost burst with astral presence and power, one of the young guards on Yohm's left side is pushed backwards, stumbles over himself and lands on his back to the floor, and the one to his other side seems to be affected still more, being pushed with such a great force that he's thrown backwards into one of the plain wooden tables behind him, knocking his head, falling down to the ground with a natural 1, falling unconscious. And Hugus himself being knocked right off his feet by this powerful eminence. And you can see the shock and confusion glimmer in his eyes as his whole body shifts backwards from yours, and he too lands crashing on the ground. And both Hugus and the remaining guard take 3 points of damage.
And in that moment of freedom, once more, Yohm's eyes will raise to meet Hugus's. Yes, we are awful sorry. As I step closer towards him, now that anger subsiding, I have not lied to you. We mean you no harm. Clearly now, you can see, if we chose to, we could inflict it. All I ask is that you send aid to my friends, and we will be on our way. Our problem is not with you. It is whatever is doing this to the goodness of our world. You can feel it, no?
Hugus is looking up at you, hearing your words, but you can still tell that his focus is very much drawn to the sight of these blue tendrils wrapping themselves around your own arms and coming forth. Roll me an insight check, please.
And that's going to be a 10.
With a 10, you can tell that he is scared of you in this moment as you loom over him. And though his body rigid and his gaze fixed upon you, you couldn't quite tell his intentions. As much as you know is that his being has shifted, and his whole attitude towards you is that of fear. And he looks up to you with that fixed stare and says, "Oh, yes, Yohm, I understand. We have made a grave mistake." And his eyes dart over to his unconscious guard to his left and the injured guard to his right. We did not mean to harm you. Tensions are very high, but if you will please put those away. Perhaps we can start again.
So be it. But before Yohm does, with the same brightly glowing blue arm that just caused all of this, he will reach it down towards Hugus and offer him an arm to help him up.
You extend that blue astral arm to aid in Hugus rising. I'll need you to roll a persuasion.
that'll be a 14.
Hugus stares at this strange orchid-like appendage that you grace in front of him, and his hand visibly shakes as he looks to it briefly, but then fixes his stare to your eyes as he grabs onto it and pulls himself up with its aid.
And when he does, he will realise, despite what he can see, it is very firmly the hand of a merfolk that he grabs. And as soon as he is on his feet, the arms will dissipate. The light seeping off of Yohm's skin as if he's shaking off a fresh rain, until the light glimmers into nothing before it hits the floor.
As this dissipating effect allows the dust to settle in the room, and a new calm brings itself to the atmosphere, Hugus takes a deep breath standing before you. And he looks to the two young men. The one on the floor, still conscious, has scampered his way to the furthest edge. He holds his arms over his crouched up knees and stares at you, Yohm, with great fear. Hugus looks to him. Diras, you saw nothing of this evening. Do you understand? The young man stares at him. Do you understand? He nods his head vigorously. You are to go home. You are off guard for tonight. We will find cover. Go home and go to bed. Now. The young man gets up sharply, works his way carefully to the door, and runs away. Hugus makes his way over to the unconscious young man on the floor and drags him upright, leaning him up against the wood of the back of a chair. I think it is important, Yohm, that we mention nothing of this. Nothing of your abilities. Nothing of Tonto you have with you to any of the rest of the villagers. Do you agree?
It's your village. I didn't come looking for trouble.
I understand this. Well then, I ask you kindly, as a favor, not to mention this. I think it will be easier to get people to help you. I will need to take this young man to the healer's hut.
No, don't. Allow me. It's my fault after all. And Yohm reaches into his small little satchel, pulling out this crimson vial of liquid that was given to him oh so recently. This will help. Pour it down his throat.
What is this?
From a healing friend of mine.
Hugus takes the vial, uncorks the lid, gives it a small sniff. These are Brustyaman herbs.
I travel well.
he lifts up the chin of the young guard, pouring the elixir slowly into his mouth and sort of working his jaw a little bit to aid in a swallow. And just after a few moments, you see the eyes flutter and blink and squint. And as he comes back to the room and he sees your face over his and he looks to Hugus, you can see his eyes go wide, and Hugus quickly tries to respond. Shh, it's okay, it is okay. You are fine, you are fine. Okay, rest here for now. Thank you, Yohm. May I keep this?
Yes, you may.
Corks it and puts it in his pocket. Well, it is late now, Yohm. Most of the village will be in bed by now, and I think if perhaps your crew can wait until a more serviceable hour, we might be able to find some people who can potentially aid. We are not master constructors by any means. We are guildsfolk of the Harvest Guild.
Well, thank you for anything you can do to aid them. If you can't, if the lot of you at least can't get that ship working again, well, we'll find another way to our destination. But they're hardy men. Constructors and guardians alike up there. I'm sure they'll survive the night.
Would you like us to put a message out to Mumberg?
Please, yes, I won't pretend to know exactly who we were supposed to be meeting when we docked there, but prior arrangements were made, yes.
You are sent here by Kenhart, yes?
Yes.
Then I will direct communication to the Harvesters Guild. I'm sure they will be aware of your arrival and direct communication to where it is appropriate.
Thank you. Hugus.
Yes.
I am sorry. I didn't quite expect all that.
And you can see, as you say these words for the first time, his whole body sort of slumps and relaxes. And it's the only moment that you sort of realize that his body's been extremely tense, almost since the moment you met him. No, Yohm. We are sorry. I think we are changed people since the attack.
Yeah. Same here.
But let us see if we can show once again our hospitality. I will send you to a trusted friend's hut to sleep for the night. Yes, he has a comfortable accommodation. And in the morning, we will gather what people who could perhaps best help you and see about heading back to your landing site, yes?
Thank you, Hugus. And in kind, if you want it, at least I will do what I can to help or inform you, at least, of these Mamu encounters. I don't know exactly what or how, but hopefully you do believe me now when I say it is my job to solve this.
Yohm, I quite frankly do not know what I believe. In the last few moments with you in this room, I think everything I have ever believed has been questioned. But if you think you can do something to prevent another attack, Well, Yohm, I would certainly wish that you do that, and aid you in any way that you can.
Of course, yes. Well, it's probably quite obvious I'm no constructor. Well, they're working up there. We'll do what we do down here.
Certainly. Is there somewhere you can hide? And he points towards Tonto, limp on your shoulder.
Yes, of course.
I hope we have not disrupted your spirit, friend.
He'll be alright. Tougher than he looks. His name's Tonto, by the way.
He has a name.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that is novel. How did you come up with it?
I didn't. Someone else. Apparently. And that is the question.
Come. It is late, and while there are less people, I think it would be best to move now.
Okay. Lead the way. And as we walk off, Yohm will just whisper, as quietly as he can, but not trying too hard to hide it for sake of appearances. He'll just check in on Tonto once more. You okay there? You hanging in there alright, bud?
You feel a slight little flutter in your chest as his head wriggles up and his eyes open. He looks to you with a small smile. Did I do good? Did I stay hidden? Did I help?
Perfectly, Tonto. Perfectly.
Oh, good. I think I have to rest again just a while, Yohm.
That's okay. We're going somewhere safe.
Okay.
Well done. We did it. We did it.
And his eyes close once more. As you exit this public house where you took your meeting, Hugus leads you over to a small abode not far away, just opposite. That room with the young guard over his shoulder, limping along by his side. After a short explanation, perhaps too short an explanation, he introduces you to a gentleman who opens the door, named Guro. And though Hugus gives very few words of the situation, Guro seems to take on his orders in taking you in for the night without much question, as Hugus then wanders off down that long road in the centre of the town, presumably to see the young guard off for the night. And you stand at the precipice of this small house, the small, short wooden door that Yohm would need to duck under to get through, and a middle-aged Dwergar gentleman staring at you. Well, better come in then. He turns around, leads you in. Again, very humble accommodation, a small fire lit in a stove with just a couple of simple wooden chairs sat by it and a small table. A door leading to a couple of back rooms. Simple furniture, simple upholstery, simple everything. Have you eaten or?
I'm doing fine. Thank you, just some warmth and some sleep.
Certainly. Have you come far?
Yes, but not quite far enough.
I'm asking too many questions at this hour, aren't I?
No, you have the right. You're allowing a stranger into your home. I'm very grateful. It's a lovely place.
Oh, well, thank you. It's been a bit of a mess at the moment. It's usually, Hilda, she cleans, things. But, she's not here. Anyway, please, this way. And he leads you into one of the back rooms, turning left through a door in a corridor, with a simple cot, little wash basin next to it. We will talk more in the morning, yes?
Yes. Thank you, again. It's appreciated.
You're welcome. We all do what we have to do. It's fine.
Good night.
Good night. And he closes the door upon you.
And I sit down on that small cot for a moment, slowly and heavily unwinding into this rest, taking off those heavy robes, sort of one layer at a time, revealing Tonto only when I think we will remain undisturbed for the night. And I signal him a small, quiet gesture whilst he's half awake, and inevitably at some point soon fall asleep without realising, whilst just staring at my arms and tracing along the veins where those tendrils once grew, shocked at the power within. And just thinking about the words we shared not long ago with our more recent Shinrik companion, chuckling before falling asleep. This is definitely some sort of cosmic joke. Before his heavy eyes close for what is hopefully a very deep sleep.
And as Yohm rests that heavy, tired body down and those eyes close, he does indeed fall into a deep, deep sleep. So deep that it feels almost an instant before he is awoken to the sound of cawing birds outside, the dull glow of the Brustyaman sun behind misty clouds, emanating through the window of his room onto his face, and a small clattering of pots and pans heard outside his door. Tonto stands at the window when you awake, 2 feet upon the sill, looking out up into the sky. He turns around. Oh, Yohm, you are awake.
Yes. Good morning. How are you?
I am much better, thank you. I was just looking for the sun.
Oh yeah, it's a lot harder to spot here, isn't it?
I haven't seen it at all.
You can feel it though, can't you? As Yohm stretches his fingers out, almost feeling them de-forward for the first time in hours, not hurting as he stretches them out and rolls his shoulders and feels so much better now. Well, do you remember much of last night?
A little bit. I was hurt. I felt very hurt. Are we friends yet?
Something like that.
Do I still need to hide?
Just for a little while, yeah. When we're out of here. But Groob and the rest of them, they should be getting the help they need. And in turn, I think the people of this town would very much appreciate us looking into that cave. Lüdock's cave.
Oh, yes.
I mean, seeing what's going on in there. Now, tell me, Tonto. We people have, with some disagreements here and there, largely all agreed that, well, you, Mamu, you come from the Colossus, somewhere down the line. And since then, we just exist together. Yeah. Well, that man we met last night by the campfire.
Uh-huh.
He seems to believe that there's a mother of all you, Mamu. A mother they call Geist.
Oh, yeah, Geist. I don't know this. What is a mother?
Well, all of us, people of Sopros, we come from parents. And they come from their parents and they theirs. And parents are made up of the mother and the father. And as long as we have existed, really, you need a mother and a father to make a child. And then those children, well, they may grow into mothers and fathers themselves. And so on, and so forth.
So, a mother and a father, they make you.
Yes.
Well, I was made in the sky. And I was with the yellow eye.
Well, it all sounds a bit crazy, Tonto. But... And please do take this with a very large pinch of Brightstone, because I'm not quite sure what I believe either at the moment, but as the story goes, she, the great perceiver, dreamt up this world we live in. And through the whim of her will or some other magic, we people came to be. And we came to be alongside you, Mamu. And from there, well, we just existed together. And our people made more people who made more people. And from then there were merfolk and monstrum and fey and verga. And we just kept making more people. And as far as I've always known it, the Mamu just were.
Well, I know that I haven't always been, if that's what you mean.
Maybe.
But then, I guess I was. But I just wasn't Tonto.
So didn't that yellow eye, Tonto, did that yellow eye give you your name?
No. I gave me my name.
And, do you remember anything before that?
No. Well, kind of. Not like I remember now. But I remember being a part of something bigger.
Maybe we people and you, Mamu, aren't as dissimilar as we first thought.
I've always thought that.
Well, enough philosophy for one morning, eh? We've got some people to meet and things to explore, I'm sure.
Will I get to explore? Or will I just be hidden?
Oh, you'll explore. This cave, it's calling to us, somehow. And it's a call I shall not ignore. So as soon as we're away from these people, well then, it's be you and I again.
I would like that.
Well, us and all those blue Mamu too.
can't wait to meet them.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Now, give me a moment anyway. I'll fix my things and we'll get out of here. And over the next few moments, Yohm, in a slightly less organised way than usual, get his robes back on and all those heavy garments ready to wrap Tonto once more after checking his things in his bag and spending a little time with that pine cone and plate, trying to put on a poker face, if you will, knowing that he must withhold some truths from the people he's about to meet. And once he feels all his affairs are in order, he'll be ready to step on up outside to meet Guru once more.
So as Yohm readies himself to greet the day and meet the people outside of his door, wrapping himself up, ensconcing Tonto in his cloak as to make him hidden, he makes his way through that doorway and is first hit by the steam and humidity in the air of the cooking that goes on in the living area. And as he walks through, he can see Guru there by the stove, cooking away at a pan with something that smells very rich and fatty, frying away. Sat on one of the wooden chairs by the simple wooden table next to the stove, you see Ira staring back at you with wide eyes and a silent mouth. Next to Guru stands someone in what looks like a healer's garb, a long white tabard and pinkish throw over the top, who's speaking in low but certain words as Guru nods his head. And as they notice you come through the door, they make their excuses. Oh, I better leave. We have a guest. Guru notices you. Oh, thank you. And the healer makes their way out of the front door, closes it behind them. Guru looks to you. Sorry, my friend. I had some news from the healers. Please come and sit. I have made breakfast.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
This is my daughter, Ira.
Oh, Ira, is it?
Ira stares at you with wide eyes still and simply nods her head slowly.
Well, Ira, my name's Yohm. It's nice to meet you. Thank you for letting me in your house.
That is okay. Nice to meet you.
And if ever there's a moment where I'm certain her father isn't looking, just a wry little wink will come out towards her to let her know that this is all okay.
And there's certainly a little moment to do that as Guru turns his back to finish off cooking. But Ira is still yet too nervous to even respond. But you can see a slight relaxation in her countenance as you give that little wink. And Guru turns around with these 3 metal plates that have this thin meat that has been cooked to crispy perfection, and puts it in front of you with another wooden platter covered in chopped pieces of coarse bread. Please enjoy.
This seems too much. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
It is the least we can do. Yes. Ira, where are your manners? Please fetch the water for Yohm. And Ira quickly gets up and heads into the back room.
quite used to Brustyaman cuisine. It smells amazing.
Oh yes. This is it's a very simple breakfast, really. We don't have many resources here in the outpost, but I trust you will enjoy it.
More than a desert, it would seem. Thank you.
You're welcome. So you are from the desert?
The next few lines that come from Yohm's mouth would be gargled at best, as he is very quickly and very intently enjoying this food. Never one to know etiquette too well, he will fully converse mouthful. Yes, from the desert, yes.
Schwarzuna. I did not expect this, because,
Yeah, I know.
They say, Hugus says you were in trouble. There was an accident. Many of us saw the blimp.
Yes, it's important business from a guild on our way to Munenberg. And, I can pretend to tell you what happened. Something up with the potentiation rune on the Brightstone, I believe. Well, needless to say, we were plummeting as fast as we lift off.
That must have been very scary.
Yeah, we got mighty lucky to land in the snow the way we did.
And as you say these words, Ira returns with a big glass vase of water and begins pouring it into the glasses that are on the table, still staring at you quite intently. Ira, do not stare at our company. Sorry, we don't have many guests.
No, don't worry. Being a merfolk in the desert, honestly, I'd find it weird if people weren't staring at me.
Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure that happens.
Children are wondrous little things. It's okay. Forgive me, though. It's probably not my place to say, but your business with the Healers Guild.
Oh.
Are you okay?
Yes, we are fine, but it is my wife, Hilda. She was injured recently in the Mamu attack some weeks ago. She is getting better, isn't she, Ira? Yes, and hopefully she will be able to come home soon, but she has been quite weak.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And I know you'd much rather be sharing this warm food with your beloved than I, so if there's anything I can do.
I'm sure time will heal. Thank you, though, Yohm, that's kind. And as Guru begins to notice the empty plates on the table, he collects them and takes them over to his wash basin. Roll me a perception check with advantage, if you would, please.
That'll be an 18.
18. With an 18, as he gets up to put the dishes over back by the wash basin, you'll notice that not only is he hobbling over to the basin, but he also seems to have some sort of wrap around his leg under his robes. And as a seasoned traveller, you can make an educated guess that he may have some sort of injury under there. And as he hobbles back over to the table, well, I think Hugo said that he would be around again this morning to brief you and help you on your way. And just at that moment, there is a knock at the door, and Guru once again labors himself back
Please,
up.
sir, please sit down.
Oh, no.
Allow me. And I quickly get myself to the door and waiting for the nod from the man who owns the house before I open it.
Sort of taken aback that you would do such an honor as to open the door for him, clearly seeing that he was laboured in his steps, gives you the curt nod.
And I open it
And in front of you is Hugus, there, with a small smile on his face to see you open the door. Yohm, I see you are rested and well.
Morning, Hugus. Yes. Yes, very well. It's a lovely place you've put me up in. Very kind hospitality.
Yes, it's something you can always trust in Goru's home. Most certainly. Well, I trust you are well and slept well.
Yes, we're all good in here.
Good. And he just steps inside the doorway without looking to take a seat. And standing next to you, continues. We have sent out our men, or the best that we have, this morning, early. As I said, we do not have many constructors here, but there are a few men who are able to work the more complicated mining equipment that may know a thing or two. And, well, we are fairly sure we know nearly where your landing site was based on what we saw from the town. Hopefully they should be with your friends within a few hours.
Yeah, I'd imagine your people move these ways much faster than I can.
Well, yes, they have much practice.
Thank you for your aid. I appreciate that. Whilst we're all here, though, and I look around the room, for what Ira is up to. Is she still knocking around with us in the same room?
Ira is sat where she was at the breakfast table, and you can see that her eyes don't look at the adults in the room as they speak. She looks down to her lap, and she is fiddling in her hands with a long root, the whistleweed you gifted her.
Excuse me, young lady. What was your name again?
Her eyes dart up to you. Her mouth is slightly ajar as she stammers. Ira. I don't suppose you'd be a really good girl and, well, I may have forgotten to make my bed this morning. I don't suppose you'd do me a favour and go and tidy that up so I don't get told off by the other grown-ups here? Oh, yes, of course. And she bows her head down and scurries off out of the room into
Thank you.
your abode.
And as soon as there's a moment of privacy amongst the adults, now, gentlemen, I appreciate everything you've done for me so far. Please, allow me to extend you the same courtesy. What happened with this attack? Specifically, if you can. I know wounds are fresh and these things are hard to talk about, but the more you can share now.
Goru looks to Hugus, and Hugus looks to Goru with sideways glances. Hugus sighs deeply, and Goru begins to sit down again. Hugus takes a seat. Yes, I suppose you must know everything, if you are to help. It was 2 weeks ago that the Mamu attacked. We here at Teot have always enjoyed relative privacy from the Mamu, despite our proximity to the very populated Lüdock's cave, the Mamu never really ventured very far, and that is largely due to our huge bright stone pillars that line the town. I don't know if you know much about the history of this town, but it was originally an outpost during the First Great War.
That explains the architecture.
That is right. It was, well, a large army outpost, and of course, when the war was over, it slowly migrated into a mining town, which is what it has been used for some time. And we procure the bright stone from deep within Lüdock's cave. As I say, we have suffered no dealings with any Mamu within the walls of this town for years and years. But recently, there was a mining expedition. Our last. The Mamu, for some reason, began to get vaguely hostile, you could say. They usually paid not very much attention to our mining activity within the cave, but yes, they were blocking the way, so much so that our men were forced out, and they blocked the entrance. Just as we returned to the town to try and decide what it is that we should do, that is when the Mamu attacked.
And what kind of Mamu was it?
Agus looks to Guru. Guru speaks. Yohm, these were Mamu like we had never seen. Huge, serpentine creatures, larger than anything. And, well, out in the plains, we've seen them drill holes into rock. But usually they have never penetrated the walls of the city. But these Mamu, they didn't seem to care. Did not affect them at all. And their movements so erratic. Some of them came straight through the wall and knocked over the town spire. Many people were injured in the wreckage. It lasted perhaps only a few minutes, but the destruction they caused in that time was catastrophic.
I'm sorry to hear this. I had a similar encounter just 2 weeks ago myself. And the main difference being, I was fortunate enough to be in the middle of nowhere when it happened. Me and a companion, a fae named Kieran of the Harvesters Guild. Well, he and I were, well, swallowed by one of those creatures. And the things we saw inside were beyond this world. And somehow, I'm still not entirely sure how myself, but somehow we made it back out. And with that, the Mamu was gone.
Yohm, says Guru from across the table. You seem a man of very strange experience. But you have dealt with these rogue Mamu And you have survived. Dispelled them, you say?
Seemingly so, yes.
Roll me an insight check as you stare at Guru.
That'll be a 12.
He looks incredibly pensive. More so than he has done since you've known him in the short time just before he asks you this question. Tell me, Yohm, do you know what causes this? Why they would change so suddenly?
I cast a quick look towards Hugus. And what's his face saying right now as I clearly look to answer this question?
Roll me an insight check, please.
That want to be an 18.
Hugus looks to you, imploring that you answer the question.
Well, we have an idea at least, but we're not certain yet. There's a very smart man, a professor in Sunkot, under the name of Shinrik. He's been studying these.
Shinrik?
Aye, Eli Shinrik, of the Light Guard.
Guru and Hugus look to each other.
An academic.
Not of the family of Morvast.
Maybe.
What do you mean, maybe?
I know not the family of Morvast.
I see. Perhaps a coincidence. Morvast Shinrik is a local madman.
Oh. Well. If the rest of the 2 weeks hadn't happened to me, I'd probably say the Shinrik I knew was as well. But nevertheless, my life seems to be proving him correct. Anyway, Eli Shinrik of the University of Sunkot. He's been studying these Mamu and has managed to extract this black matter, as he calls it, and seems to believe that this matter is afflicting the Mamu and causing these changes in temperance, these changes in size. And, well, I don't know how accurate he may be, but I have seen into the eyes of these Mamu, and they are as if they are void themselves.
As you say these words, Guru looks to you with sharp eyes. Roll me one more insight, please.
12 again.
He is almost somewhat frightened, you can tell by these words. As he says, "Hey, black matter. And what did this black matter look like?"
Imagine the darkest night you've ever encountered. And now imagine that as if it were the blood running from your veins. It is nothing as much as it is so undeniably something. I am not an academic man. I can only tell you what I saw, but this liquid, this whatever it is, it's when you see it, you know.
And
you've seen it, haven't you?
Guru looks at you with panicked eyes. Who said to you that I've seen it?
You have the same look on your face I did when I saw it.
Hugus looks across from the other side of the table at Guru. Have you seen it? Go. Does it hurt you? Will it change you, Yohm?
I do not know. But what I do know, what I can tell you for sure, that Fae, Kieran, he was suffering the same affliction as those Mamu. He was. And he is not anymore. He is okay now. He is well. So tell me, Guru, what did you see?
And he suddenly squints in pain as he grabs on to his leg, where you once saw the limp. He looks back up at you. Into mine. It was there. I didn't want to tell anyone. I thought I might be fine, but it made me see things.
What things?
Dark things. Black things. And it reached out. And it begins to lift up his robe, and as he does so, unwrap the wrap you'd seen there before, and as it slowly reveals the surface of his leg, and he looks sharply over his shoulder to check that his daughter does not wait in the corridor. He shows you a deep red laceration across his shin, and through it a vein of blackness runs. I didn't know what to do. I thought it might go away, but I think it has gotten worse.
Was this on the same day as the attack?
Yes.
Okay. And you've survived this long?
I have.
Does it just hurt your leg? Is there anything else? Anything you can tell me at all?
It is spreading. I can feel it moving up my leg. And at night, I have horrible dreams. Guru, how could you not have told us this yet? I'm sorry, Haggis. I just didn't know. No, it's fine. Yohm, what do you suggest?
Well, first of all, I suggest we do not blame others for things already done. We know what sort of behaviour that can lead to, don't we now, Hughes?
Yes, you're quite right.
All we can do now is look forward. And think. Now, gentlemen, if you forgive me, I think it's about time we were all perfectly honest with each other, don't you? As he looks to Hughes once more, and then back to Guru. There is one thing I know of that may aid you in this, but that is not a certainty.
What do you speak of?
I have a friend. A brilliant little friend who has helped others in the past and helped me too. And I make no promises, but something tells me he is your best hope.
Hughes looks down to the ground and taking a deep sigh. Guru furrows his brow in confusion. Well, where is your friend? If he can help, we need this.
We can try. But please, calm yourself, Guru. And forgive us. As I pull over my scarf once more, and that warm yellow glow would start emanating from my chest as it's been revealed. And allow me to introduce you to my friend Tonto.
Tonto, once again, wrapped up tight inside your cloak, peeks out his little head, looking up for approval into your eyes, looking around at his being revealed.
And Tonto, and these are some friends that need some help.
Guro shudders back in his chair, dragging his limp leg backwards. You bring him a Mamu. Here. It could do anything.
Yes, I know. And there's precisely anything that we need it to do right now. Isn't that right?
I can't. A small voice from over his shoulder speaks out. He is okay, Father. Sierra stands in the doorway. Tonto is kind. He can help you. Goro looks around. Sierra, go to your room.
It's okay. She's braver than she looks.
What do you mean, you? Father, I met Yohm in the forest. In the forest, too? You've been out in the forest? I understand. We will talk about this later. But go to your room. Go. Inira looks down, heads back into the hallway. Goro stares at Tonto. Tonto remains still.
It's okay, Tonto. Now more than ever. I need you to be you, okay? Nothing else.
I can be myself.
Oh yeah.
And you want me to help?
If we can. Here. As I nod down towards his leg. He's hurt. In a similar way to Kieran.
I see.
And I don't know if you can help him as you did us. But I know you will do your best to try.
Well, Yohm, I don't know that I can help. But I know exactly who can.